ZANU PF calls for another politburo meeting according to this communication that was done by the ZANU PF Secretary General Opet Mpofu, of course issued through the Information Department that is headed by none other than Chris Mutswangwa. Now, if you remember, ZANU PF recently had, it's just so recent. There was another politburo which was followed by Central Committee meeting. So in a letter that is dated today, 28th of July, 2025. It says Department of Information and Publicity, reconvening of Politburo meeting. And it reads as follows: the Secretary General of ZANU PF, Comrade Dr. Opet Mpofu, advises members of a Politburo meeting to be held this Wednesday, 30th of July at 1000 hours. The meeting shall be held at ZANU PF headquarters. All members should be seated by 9:45. So this meeting happens barely weeks before the other one, which saw the co-option of Gudagwashe Takwirei not sailing through. The question that comes into mind is why another politburo within a very short space of time? Greetings and welcome on your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, guess what? You become the very first one to watch us. So ZANU PF these days is even afraid to call these meetings extraordinary politburo because it must be an extraordinary politburo. I don't think politburo should be convening every month. That's not how ZANU PF does things. Obviously, there is an extraordinary matter that has to sail through the politburo. Last time, the main purpose of why ZANU PF convened, it was to co-opt Gudagwashe Takwirei, of which his co-option hit a poll. It did not sail through, and retired General Chwenga ended up physically acting on Gudagwashe Takwirei, taking him out of the Central Committee when he wanted to attend the Central Committee. He got away with attending the Politburo, but when it came to Central Committee meeting, retired General Chwenga had to act decisively. Now, the question is Mnangagwa trying? Remember, we have seen individuals in ZANU PF with experience being in ZANU PF, especially Themba Mliso. He has been actually saying if the Politburo cannot co-opt Gudagwashe Takwirei, Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa has the powers as an individual to actually co-opt Gudagwashe Takwirei. Is the Mnangagwa faction planning to use that avenue to actually bring Gudagwashe Takwirei into the fore? And remember, previously, also the previous Politburo, we understand that it gave an assignment to two officials, that is the ZANU PF Secretary for Legal Affairs, as well as the Minister of Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, that is Ziambi. It gave them a mandate to go and actually look at how Emmerson Mnangagwa's 2030 bid could be done. They were tasked to look at avenues in which this process could be easily done, and the easiest opinion that actually we've had being parachuted by ZANU PF members, it is the use of parliamentary majority as well as Senate majority to actually change the constitution, and also two were tasked also to draft the bills that will see Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa's 2030 mantra being a reality. Now, if they are to follow the constitution, I've said that that is a mammoth task. Already ZANU PF is late because I mean, these two referendums have to be conducted. I mean, within a space of 6 months in between the other. So, if if they are to begin the first process from now, taking into consideration that you don't just conduct a referendum. You have first of all to campaign for that referendum to sail through. So already in my view, Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa is late, but if we are to take from what has transpired in the previous Politburo, is that of course remember the Politburo is just a committee of the Central Committee, and at the moment the Central Committee is influenced by the Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa faction, because the faction enjoys majority within the Politburo. That is why such controversial resolutions are passed by the Politburo. I must say, Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa enjoy even support from the DCCs of ZANU PF. But remember, I have said it, I have been at pains to try and explain this, that in ZANU PF, it is not the politics that determines the ZANU PF succession. I mean, you can go even historically. Politics has never determined ZANU PF succession. It takes place, if you watched, for example, Grace Mugabe leading up to the event of 2017, insulting politicians such as Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa, insulting quite a number of politicians within ZANU PF who were strategically aligned to the then Lacoste faction of Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa. You would have thought that the Robert Gabriel Mugabe faction was in control of ZANU PF. Politically, it was actually intact. Remember when they fired Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa, all the provinces of ZANU PF recommended that Mnangagwa should be fired from ZANU PF. So Mugabe had the grassroots support within ZANU PF structures to actually get rid of Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa. He indeed got rid of him politically, but as I have said, politics in Zimbabwe, historically, it has never determined succession within ZANU PF. We saw within a space of few weeks, Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa bounced back when the military decided to intervene and actually got rid of Robert Gabriel Mugabe. So we are bound to see history repeating itself. I think Mnangagwa is actually prepared to overstretch retired General Chwenga, who is seemingly having the support within the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, because I must tell you, if he did not have support, this man would be long gone. But he is still surviving and seemingly powerful within the structures of ZANU PF because of the support that he enjoys within the Zimbabwe Defense Forces. Otherwise, if he did not enjoy the support that he is enjoying, otherwise there wouldn't even be individuals like Blessed Geza that would not be allowed to be surviving in Zimbabwe, having said a lot of unforgivable words, particularly to Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa, knowing that also Mnangagwa is paying for his blood as well as that of Blessed Geza. So we are in for, I think what we will witness politically 2030 mantra being driven up to the goal that Emerson Tambutso Mnangagwa intends to do so. And at the center of it, he would be using foolish ZANU PF politicians who do not see that he is actually using them. And at the end of the day, they will end up like your Patrick Joao, your Professor Jonathan Moyo, your minister, former Minister of Tourism, Walter Mzembe, and others. They don't learn, these people. They have never learned. And it appears what transpired before is about to happen. So it will be quite interesting. We will still be doing more analysis as to what exactly this Politburo is all about. Remember, they are keeping everything secretive, and even they have actually they have a way of even not calling it an extraordinary Politburo, because they know it raises a lot of eyebrows, particularly to the members of the media as well as the members of the public and political analysts. But something big and major is happening within ZANU PF. Just watch the space. Leo Tingali Jela. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, guess what? You become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the subscribe plus button and be part of our members. So the heartbeat of this channel, you can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. We are also available on X, formerly Twitter. You can follow us. We are Hlonipani Global News. You can also equally follow us on Facebook. We are also Hlonipani Global News. Let me love and leave you. Let's meet on the other side of the live broadcast as I give you more updates.